Hello everyone, this is Strawberry Singh. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Second Life avatar physics. Physics let you customize how you want your avatar's body parts to move in response to your movements, such as your belly, your breasts, or your butt. And I released a physics layer on Marketplace last year sometime, and I had a great amount of people messaging me saying, I don't want the butt to move so much, or my butt doesn't move, or I don't want the belly to move so much, I don't want my breast to move so much. The layers that I released were completely customizable. They should have been modified, but a lot of people just didn't understand how to modify them. So I thought I would do a quick tutorial to show you how to modify or how to create a new physics layer and make one yourself. But before I do that, I did want to show you how to turn off physics if you don't want to see them on anybody else either, because they can be a little bit taxing on your computer. So in order to turn off physics, you're going to open up your preferences folder, and then you're going to go preferences menu, and then you're going to go into the graphics tab. And when you get into the graphics tab, you want to look at, I'm just going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, you want to look at your avatar physics over here, and obviously the higher you have it, the more of the physics that you'll see. So let me just show you. I'm wearing my extreme bounce physics layer. So I just want to give you an example. See how much is bouncing. So if you lower that, it should get a little bit smaller, or maybe not. Or you can just completely turn it off like that. So you don't have to see people's bouncing boobies if you don't want to. Okay, so I'm going to put that on full since my tutorial, since I want to show how it works in my tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to just zoom into it. So in order to create a new layer, a new physics layer, you can just click on your inventory, and you want to go to New Close, and you want to do New Physics. Okay? And that's your new physics layer, and you can name it whatever you want. And then what you do is you wear that physics layer, and you can just go into edit mode just by right-clicking on it and clicking on edit, and then you can play with the different options. Now, I'm not going to start a new layer because I want to show you it's just too much of a hassle. So I'm going to go back to my extreme bounce since they're just going crazy over there. And I'm going to show you how to edit it, so if you don't want it to bounce so much in certain areas, you can turn that down. So before I do that though, I want to just talk about each little section a little bit so you kind of get an idea of what it does. Now, the breast bounce section basically shakes your breast vertically in response to your avatar moving vertically. So you know how I'm moving up and down, so my breasts are moving up and down. So the mass effect to that controls the maximum range of movement, okay? So if I set that to 0, they're not going to bounce so much. See? You can just turn that down a little bit. Okay? So just like that. Okay? And also, as well as spring controls the speed of vibration. So you can turn that down as well if you like. So that's how you lower the bounce if you don't want it so strong. Okay? And the gain controls the size of the effect when the movement is triggered. So the higher the number causes a larger effect. Okay? Don't know if you can really see that. See that? Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there. And then damping controls how long it takes for movement to stop after it's triggered. Okay? So if I stop moving, it controls how long it takes. So let's say I'm moving again, and let's turn that down. Okay? I don't know if you could see a big difference there, but a higher number causes the movement to stop sooner. Okay? So you would set that higher if you're wearing, like, you know, a corset or something like that. You know, something that would restrict your breasts from bouncing like crazy. And if you're bare, if you're not wearing anything, then you would probably keep that low, because then, you know, that's the natural kind of way it would go. So that's the breast bounce. Okay? Now the cleavage, for cleavage, let me start that up again. Okay, cleavage is shaking side to side, but to the inside rather than the outsides, in response to your avatar moving forwards and backwards. So again, if you play with the sliders, you see how it's moving more side to side? Okay, so that's how you would lower that. I hope it's all getting into the screen there. I'm getting all this information from the Firestorm website though, by the way, so I will link to that in case I'm going too fast for you. You can read it instead. So again, just play with the sliders of how you want it set. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is sway. Now sway is shaking side to side, but to the outside rather than the inside, in response to your avatar moving side to side. Okay. So if I stop moving and I lower this, I don't know if you could see that difference. Okay. Now the breasts weren't such a big deal. Everybody was worried about how much the belly was bouncing. Well, not everybody. A lot of people were. So again, in order to stop the belly bounce, you go in there again and you can reduce the sliders. So in this case, a lot of people probably don't want this such a high spring. So you see how easy to reduce the sliders. You can actually turn it all off completely if you don't want belly bounce. I like a little belly bounce. I think it looks kind of sexy. There we go. Okay, and then the one thing I do want to note is the butt bounce. Now, if you are wearing a fit mesh body like Maitreya or Slink, or I think a lot of the others, your butt will not bounce with this. I'm not sure. I guess it's because of the way they're rigged. It doesn't work with avatar physics, but it does work with if you're wearing the default body, or if you're wearing, I believe it's the Beliza body. I'm not sure. I believe it's that body. A few people told me. I don't have that one, so a few people told me that the butt bounce does work with that. So if you want your butt to bounce, you're going to have to either go with a body that allows that. That's about it. So once you're all done, what you do is, let me see if I can get this onto the screen properly. Okay, you save as, and then you save. Don't just go back here, because then you're going to go over the layer that you started with. You want to save as and name it something different, and that'll be your new layer. I'm just going to undo changes because I don't want to mess with that. And that's about it. So I don't really wear physics often, only sometimes, and I usually go with my natural one because it's not that light. It's very light. It's not that heavy. And it's fun to kind of play around with, watch yourself bounce. But yeah, so that's the tutorial for today. I hope it was informative. I am going to link to the Firestorm website where I got all this information from. It's so easy to do, and I hope you have fun with it. Okay? And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks. Bye.